Hey everybody, before the video starts I wanted to jump in here right quick. I'm actually rolling down the road right now, but give you a quick update as what's happening on my channel. I've got in fact I think I've said it before, I'm not sure, but I've got planting videos scheduled up until July 19th. I'll probably keep it that way and schedule videos like what you're about to see here, working on stuff and that kind of thing, probably midweek, maybe later week, just depends on how things go. But yeah, like I say, I've got planting videos scheduled every Saturday at 6 o'clock in the evening Eastern time, and I'll probably keep them like that. And the main reason why I do it that way is so that well, like if we're slowed down, kind of like what we are right now, hey, I still got content to post and that kind of thing. And so I'm just going to probably keep it as is, and then post videos like this, like I say, throughout the week or like midweek or however it works out here. Just have to wait and see, and then just go from there. But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to let y'all know what's happening, because so if you see planting videos on up here into June and July, that's the reason why. And of course, in the July, we'll be getting into wheat harvest and that kind of stuff, which will be perfect, because that means my planting videos will be phasing out, and then we'll be getting into wheat harvest and that kind of thing. Now yesterday I did start knifing some 28, and so I've already shot the video on that. And I don't know, I may schedule that for after planting, or maybe a little later on here, maybe late June or something like that. Wait and see. So yeah, just wanted to let you know what's happening. That's the reason why. So take care and enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Well, I got the 14840 sitting here. Gotta take and drop the duals off the back of it. That way it's ready, and get it ready to go for the 28% knifer. We've only got 3 fields this year that we got to put 28 on, because everything else we've had a bunch of hog crap pumped onto it, so we're good to go on that. But 3 fields did not get any, and so got to put 28 on those. So I'm going to get these duals here popped off, and I'll bring you along. In fact, maybe I'll bring you along also when I go and grab the knife from the tank. But gotta get these tires popped off first. Got the backhoe sitting right there, because once I get all the lug bolts out, I work it out some, tip it back, let it sit there, lean against the axle, then sit over top it with the loader, run a chain down through the a big center hole in the rim, back up, and that way I pick the tire up and carry it off. Alrighty, brought out the big guns again. This thing sure is handy, I can tell you that much. Well, I forgot I had to throw my air jack underneath the back of the tractor, get a little bit of weight up off that tire. So we'll go ahead and pop the last bolt out. Come on. That big cordless sure is a lot handier than dragging an air hose around. The tractor could have gone up just a little bit more, but that's all right there. no weight to them, I can tell you that much. Okay, that's got leaning in. Now I'll grab the backhoe, come up over it, and chain him up. We'll be good to go. Got the tire here picked up, just opened up the shed door. I had the door shut down because there's a strong east to southeast wind driving pretty hard. I'm going to take this tire over here and lean it up against the outside wall of the other shed over here by the grain dryer. I may try and set the camera outside here. Just a heads up, if I do, there may be quite a bit of wind noise. just got that tire taken off, and as you can see, we got other duals leaned up against the wall over there. It makes for a good spot because right there it's actually in the shade, and so it's always shaded from the sun in the summertime. But now I'll be putting those back on here later on, but for now that's a good spot to sit them at. Okay, back over here in the shed. Gotta do the the left hand side to get that tire off. I'm not even going to show you that because it's just identical to doing that side. So I'll bring you back in when I'm ready to head over and pick up the knifer. Oh, I forgot, I also got to take my hydraulic multiplier off. And so that thing worked great for having the disc and crumbler where I needed a third hydraulic hookup. All right, well, we're heading over to pick up the knifer. So I'll bring you back in when we get over there, and I'll get hooked on and bring it back over here and put in the shed. Okay, just got backed up here and hooked on. Got my hydraulic hoses hooked up for the wings. This is an 11 shank knifer. Get all the old, almost looks like some kind of a grapevine. All that crap off there. Okay. That tire ain't exactly all that great. Putting her flat. Okay, the rest of them look good. Well, it's not completely flat, so it'll make it over the back over the shed. Okay, other than that, I think we're ready to fold up and head back over. Alright, there's the left wing coming up. I mean the right wing. There's the left one pulling up. Okay, and that should have it. There we go. Alright, just got him pulled inside the shed here. Thankfully that tire wasn't completely flat, so I'll get the ear hose, get that pumped up. I gotta get the jack stand raised up also, and then go across checking knives and that kind of thing on it and make sure they're all putting out and the tubes aren't all rusted up. In fact, right there's a double. We just use just the one front tube, but we'll see what happens here. Here on the tank, I got me a new piece of tubing, which I think that looks to be about the same size. The old one's all yellowed and fogged up. Uh-oh. I didn't realize that thing had that much 28 left. I thought the tank was empty. Well, we definitely have plenty. It's about 1.5 feet too long. Okay, well I gotta get my tube cutter. We'll shorten that up and that'll be good to go again. Okay, just got my tube shortened up. Handy little cutter right there for cutting tubing and that kind of stuff. Works pretty good. Now, get the hose clamp on. There we go. that should happen. Okay, now we're good to go with the new sight gauge. Okay, got my big hose here. Come on. Also, something else I'll do, especially on this, right there where it's got those cam lock levers, take a zip tie, run through those rings right here. That way there's no chance of that thing coming undone. Okay, now we're ready for that. And I do the same thing on both sides. I put a zip tie, a big zip tie to it, that way they can't go anywhere. All right, that's got the big hose on. Well, we're ready to go that far. Okay, give you a close-up shot. But yeah, like I said, I just run that big zip tie right through those rings on these little cam trip levers, and that way there's no chance of these here slowly beginning to work out and the hose fall off. So that works out doing it good like that. Okay, let's see here. I want to take and pump some 28 on that tank. That way I can roll the pump and start pushing liquid through it, see if there's any leaks. Some of these lines, though, don't exactly look all that great from the sun. So we'll see what happens here. But I do, well, before I do anything, I've got to take and smack these knives with a hammer, and looks like even take a wire and run down, pop the tube off, run down that metal tube, and knock any dirt out of the end here. Like that. That's got dirt in it. You can see it falling out right there. Get that knocked out of them knife holes. That way it's not plugged. Okay, then like I say, here on these knives, this here's just a wire off of like a little red flag or orange flag, or if you can get that to go up through there, you're all right. But it's catching me right there at that curve. It doesn't want to follow that curve around too well. That's why sometimes you got to take this tube here off and run the wire down from the top to make sure it's reamed out good. All right, I just took the little rubber tube off. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, now you can see the wire came out the bottom of the tube. Going down from the top, it's able to go around that little curve right there and come on down. So, okay, well, that's one. Now I gotta go across here and check, well, the other 10, because this is an 11 shank. After that, I'll take and we'll put some 20 on the tank right there, and that way I can roll the pump and run all through the knives. All right, well, I just got done checking that last knife there on those tubes, and One nice thing, having a nice wide shed, I could take and put the wings down on this thing. But yeah, you see right here, we got each outside knife has a double, and which means it's putting down 1.5 times. That way I can skip the off-row, and that way I can just go back and forth and follow the planter and skip the off-row, and that works good that way, especially like going around the power pole or that kind of stuff. You're not tearing out corn. So I'm gonna get backed out here. We'll go put some 28 on that tank, and then I'm gonna try and get this pump here to turn. Get a little 28 put on. Okay, there it's coming up in the new sight gauge. I'm not gonna put a whole lot on, just enough to be able to do at least be able to run the wheel and do a few test runs here in the driveway, get the air pumped through it. Alright, I'm just rolling along here in the driveway so my pump wheel turns. I don't know how well you can see some of those knives out there, but had to take my wire and re-hit a couple of them, but so far they're all pumping out 28. That's what we want. Same thing over here on this side. Alright guys, well I got it folded back up here inside the shed, and so like you saw there, I ran up and down the driveway a few times. That way I'd roll my pump wheel, and that's got all the knives putting 28 out, so that's what I want. So I'm gonna call this an end the video. Like I say, this has just been a little video just kind of showing what I'm doing here, getting stuff ready to go for knifing, and I think we're ready to roll now. So take care, thanks a lot for watching, we'll see you next time.